All right, guys, welcome to another episode of T&K NoCo Auto Talk. We've got for you today the 2023 Cadillac Escalade Premium Luxury. We are going to look up under the hood of this guy. We'll do a walk around, pop in on the inside, and then we'll take it out for a road test. Let's dive in. All right, so what we've got here under the hood of this bad boy, we've got a 6.2 liter V8, outputs 420 horsepower at 460 foot-pounds of torque. 10-speed automatic transmission. And fun fact, Kay, I don't know if you knew this or not, but this vehicle, the engine can deactivate half of its cylinders to save fuel when it's cruising. How cool is that?
That's really cool. Just think about all the things that are going on without you knowing, right? That's really cool. It's not, new technology. I think they've been doing that in the automotive world for some time now, but it's seamless. You don't even feel it. Like you would have no idea that you're only running on half the power.
Right, yeah, that's crazy. That's insane. Like, when we were making our way out here to do this video, I had no idea that was even occurring until I did my research. So that's pretty darn neat.
Yeah, it's super smooth. I mean, it feels powerful, but it's not like that push you back in your seat kind of torque that you see, especially now with a lot of vehicles becoming electrified. They're all getting very torquey. This has the torque, but because the vehicle is so heavy, it doesn't give you that kind of thrilling driving. If you want something like that, then you got to go with the V series.
For sure, yeah, we'd love to check one of those out. But still, regardless, this thing is still pretty quick for its size and its weight. So
no doubt,
that 6.2 liter does wonders. It works well.
Yeah, and it's the same motor that's in quite a few of GM's vehicles right now, so it's out there and people love it. So
awesome. Well, let's see what's going on the exterior. I think you may have wanted to point out some little fun things that you noticed. Yeah, so let's check those out.
A few dozen things I like to point out on this.
All right, let's take a peek at that, see what's going on.
Awesome.
All right, guys, so we are going to take a little tour around the exterior of this Escalade. I know Kay is particularly excited about this. He noticed some things that maybe you didn't notice if you have one, because I didn't notice it till he started pointing it out.
I mean, these things are, for me, kind of hard to miss. I don't think you'd buy it without knowing these things.
Yeah,
but
I buy
maybe
things.
That's what drew you to it.
Yeah, and I buy things because they're flashy and fast, not because they have little hidden pieces.
This thing is flashy for real, though.
No, I do agree it's flashy. But yeah, let's take the little tour. Let you point those things out.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, it's beautiful. I think the color is insane. It's very pearly white. It's beautiful, which is something you'd expect on a car like this. One thing that I wanted to notice is that Cadillac is all over this thing. They do not want anybody to get it confused for anything else.
Right.
It's in the headlight, like I just pointed out, it spells out Cadillac, which is actually a really nice touch.
That is classy, I have to say.
The emblem is massive in the grille. And not only that, but it's also surrounded by other shapes that mimic the emblem. The grille itself, what do you know? It's the Cadillac emblem.
Yep. It's all there.
I mean, that's just the start. It's on the hub covers on the wheel. It's mimicked in the side view mirrors. It's on the door handles. It's on the seat pillar. Am I boring you yet? It's on.
I think it's too much. Too much.
And another massive one on the tailgate. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I think Cadillac is definitely feeling themselves. Now that you've got me seeing these chevrons everywhere, I do have to also note the tow hook cover, chevron, tailgate shape, chevron, tailgate, chevron. Like, it is all over the place.
Like even the, can't remember what it's called, but even this kind of mimics the shape of the Cadillac emblem.
Tailgate pad,
the seat backs for the first two rows, and I'm thinking to myself, why just stop there? Like, you have a whole other row of seats that you could throw it on.
Let's keep going. They don't want you to forget.
Right. I mean, it's, for me, unmistakably a Cadillac. I mean, with the taillights that run the length of the back.
Sure.
I mean, that's unmistakable.
Right.
I do like that the turn signals are separated from the actual taillights and brake lights.
Yes.
That's really
Gives
cool
it a
touch.
very distinctive look when they're activated.
But yeah, I mean, the ego of the folks at Cadillac, it's insane.
I have to say, definitely mega ego. And we'll point out to you guys the other chevrons that we located inside as well, so that way you can see how chevron crazy they went with this. I think it's a little overboard, but you know, they're proud of their vehicle, as they should be, because it's, I mean, the Escalade's been around for many years, very long time.
Yeah, it's a great product. You don't get to be where it doesn't get to be where it's at without being good.
Yes,
so.
yes, 100%. So, you know, just for this particular one, I do like this paint color. The pearlescence, it's very shimmery and shiny in the sun. I don't know, just I feel like it's missing something on the exterior just to give it that little extra. Maybe if this was blacked out or something, just to make it pop, you know?
Yeah, which I think on the V series it is. So
even better.
Appreciate that.
Yes, I might like that a lot more. So I think let's see what's popping on the inside. Take a break from the sun for a little bit and see what we got going on in there.
That sounds good to me.
Awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna take a little quick tour on the inside. Check this out. That tailgate.
Yeah,
Press the
legit.
Yeah. So here we are with our trunk space, which is obviously very limited.
Yeah, keep in mind this is not the long wheelbase Escalade, so it's gonna have Tahoe size.
Yep. Very small storage. I really don't know what you would really store under there. But of course, you know, your seats here can go down.
Yeah, they're power folding, which is what you would expect in a vehicle of this class. The front seats fold down as well.
Yep. So that's nice for some storage, which is still awkward kind of storage. You set that up, but hey, you get more room that way if you don't need any additional passengers in the vehicle.
Yeah.
So that is very neat and nifty. And then we'll make our way around here to the inside and just do a quick little sweep. So this is, again, seating for 7.
6. Oh, no, 7, you're right.
Who can't count this time, Kay? I do really like their cockpit. I feel it's pretty futuristic.
It truly does feel like a cockpit, too. It's
really
nice.
This is pretty cool. Kind of like you got your captain's chairs up here in the front, and you've got speakers and your headrest.
The driver, which is nice.
Everything is centered around the driver, so super nice. But we'll pop back in there, turn on the infotainment, and we will take a look at that. All right. So we've got 3 different screens here. I believe we've got to our far left.
Yeah, I believe it's a 7.1 or 7.2 inch screen here on the left. It controls things. It's got your trip display. It's got your different displays that you can have on the actual gauge cluster. So right now it's on the map. You can change it to look at your just regular gauge cluster. And then probably the craziest, most impressive feature of the gauge is the AR camera, which is nuts. Like, you can see everything in front of you on your gauge cluster. Obviously, I don't think it's meant to be used during the day, more maybe for nighttime use. And I believe with navigation, it'll actually display your directions on the screen as well. So
yeah, that is really neat, actually.
It's like playing a video game, and you know the directions are being displayed on the screen. It's just like, it's awesome. So that's really cool. Change that back, and then I believe this one is maybe 12 or so.
I think it was a 14, I believe.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
And then we've got your infotainment screen.
Yes.
Which I believe is around 16 inches.
Yep.
So, and obviously it's got your normal. It's really intuitive. It's snappy. Haven't run into any issues with it on our drive. It does have dedicated buttons here on the left, which is really nice. You can always get to what you need when you need it. But yeah, it's really cool. And then it's got this really nifty rear view camera mirror. which makes sense. It's a family vehicle. You don't want somebody's head getting in your way, so you can see right through it. But yeah, the materials in here are top notch. I mean, it's got this wood. Don't think it's real, but it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's very glossy.
Yeah, it is. Which is crazy because a lot of vehicles now have that like matte finish or that I don't know what else to call it, matte. Um, but yeah, it's kind of gives that old school vibes, but still very modern. Looks really cool. You got cup holders, a couple here, and then extra storage. You do have USB-A and USB Type C here for charging, which is nice. I'll point out nothing in this car is analog. Like nothing. The door handles are not your typical door handles. They don't actuate in any way. You just press a button on the inside of that door handle, and the door pops open. The gear select is electronic. I mean, everything is electronic.
Yeah, I do enjoy those electronic gear shifters. So that is pretty nice to see because that reminds me of when I had my BMW having that similar setup. So that's actually really cool. And again, everything is very driver centric and user friendly, and right in the path of where you need. So you're not hunting and pecking around for things. It's easy to navigate and get to while keeping your eyes on the road. So they are definitely thinking about your safety as well.
Yeah, and I think it's important to know it is a touchscreen, the screen, but you also have this dial here that you can use. So if you're a freak about fingerprints, then
you got your rotary
you have
dial.
an option.
Yeah.
There is a volume knob here as well, which is kind of nice that it keeps the dash looking nice and clean. Everything's down here and within an arm's reach, which is really nice.
Yep.
Got dedicated buttons for music, phone, navigation, vehicle information, home button, back button.
Yep.
But yeah, it's really, really nice. You even got wood on the steering wheel, which is nice. Again, Cadillac emblem, obviously. You expect it to be there. But it also does say Cadillac here on the infotainment screen. So the formats say Cadillac. I mean,
everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere. So, I didn't have that much branding in my BMW because I already knew it was a BMW. But like I said, they apparently need to remind you that you're in a Cadillac. I don't know how you could forget that, but
it does have a head-up display, which you see. It's more and more common every day. It does look like up above the regular dash, it looks like a speaker grill. Do you remember how many speakers are in this?
Ooh, I want to say it was a 19 speaker system. And the brand, I believe, was AKG. AKG. Yep.
So yeah, no slouch. I mean, a lot of American vehicles in particular, they know Americans like loud music. So
yes.
They don't skip when it comes to music and sound quality. So it's really cool that they went with AKG in here. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up. All your controls for your giant sunroof are here. You can adjust the level of the tailgate. So if you have a garage and you don't want to swing all the way out, you can adjust the level here. You can fold the seats from here. Controls for your sunroof, map lights, garage door opener. It's all up here.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice vehicle. Everything is it makes sense the way it's laid out, Sunroof isn't, I wouldn't say a full panoramic to the length of the vehicle, but as you could see, you definitely get enough sunroof space. So it makes it nice and bright in here.
Yeah, enough light for everybody.
Yes.
It does have a very dark interior, so with the shade closed, it does get pretty dark in here. So I can only imagine if you've got really dark tinted windows, I mean, it's going to be very dark. It does have ambient lighting, which is really nice. Kind of expect that on a vehicle of this class.
Yes, I love ambient lights.
You've got multiple colors that you can choose from.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Let's see, you can link it to different drive modes. There's a demo mode. You can adjust the brightness. I would just have it all bright all the time. But yeah, it's really cool. You can even customize the color, so that's nice. But yeah, it's really nice. This doesn't feel like the highest quality material, but when are you ever going to be touching this? But it looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's very sleek. I was definitely very pleasantly surprised, I should say, when I first stepped into this vehicle, because I have not been in a Cadillac Escalade before. Definitely wasn't something on my radar, but I do enjoy that cockpit, though. That's very fun, very futuristic. I really like that.
Yeah, got your different drive modes here, which is interesting. You don't control it at all from the steering wheel. So I pressed the mode button here, and I went to scroll, and it did nothing. You just have to keep clicking the mode button until you get to what you want. So
interesting.
that is interesting.
Yes.
Doesn't change the gauge cluster at all. It doesn't look like so.
Yep, that's probably one thing I think that they fell short-sighted on with that. That would have been more fun if the gauge cluster would change colors.
Yeah, you see
or something
so many,
like that.
Yeah, you see so many animations in cars nowadays because that's one of the benefits of having screens. You can do stuff like that, but it seems like they didn't want to spend the time or effort to do that. So
right. Yep.
maybe they don't think their customers would appreciate something like that. I mean, it's Cadillac. It's probably
true.
You're getting to your late 40s, early 50s, maybe and beyond. If you're, I mean, maybe young families with money want to look at an Escalade too, but
have to see what's inside of a V, see if it's any different, because the V is supposed to be their performance model. So I would hope that it would be a little bit more exciting for the infotainment and for the ODO.
Yeah.
For your digital odometer.
I mean, it's snappy. It's a very high quality infotainment. It's probably one of the best that I've seen in a while. Even now with technology being where it is, sometimes you get in and it's super laggy and like it feels cheap. This does not feel cheap at all.
Right. And again, fully digital. We talked about this before in a previous video, digital versus analog, and going with a fully digital dash, longevity. What if something stops working? What if you do end up getting lag? Or what if it has buffering issues or something like that? Like you're trying to flick your page and it's not flicking. Like, what are you going to do? How much is something like that realistically going to cost to get repaired or reprogrammed?
I think one of the benefits of something like this is nowadays a lot of it can be resolved with over-the-air updates, which is nice. So you don't have to drive all the way to the Cadillac dealer to resolve whatever issue you might be having. One thing that I will note, when you first get in with this electronic shifter, you have to wait a second before you can put it in gear.
Really?
Yeah, so when I got in initially, I went to put it in drive. I just pressed button, put it in drive, and it did nothing.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and I was like, maybe that was just a fluke or whatever, and I tried again, and it was the same story. So, just one thing to keep in mind if you're thinking about something like this. For me, that would be like a safety issue.
Yes.
If you're, in a situation that you need to get out of quickly, that would be concerning.
Yeah. I mean, every second counts, right? You can't lose a second. You need to have it. Well, let's take this out for a little road test, Kay, and see how she feels on the road.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Kay, let's take this thing on the road and see how she feels. Initially very buttery smooth. Not anything too crazy. Do we also have vented seats? I feel air. Yeah. Oh, that feels nice.
It is a Cadillac.
Yeah, it feels nice. Very lovely. I do like that.
The rear seats do have its own climate control system, which is nice. But obviously you can sync it to the front passengers as well.
I do like how the turn signal isn't very obnoxious. It's that soft clicking noise, not the loud clicky. I can't stand the loud clicky ones. So this is very nice. The steering wheel, though, for me, I don't know, it just kind of feels small.
It does. I would agree with you on that one. It does feel like it's lacking something. I mean, again, it's not a performance vehicle. This one is meant to just be a luxury cruiser. So it's not going to have, sporty aspects to it. I mean, obviously it's got power. Like, if you need to get somewhere, you can get there quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you click on it, it gets a little punchy, Like you said, it doesn't throw you back in your seat. So that's nice for people that don't want to experience that torque, right?
Yeah, if you want something that's just like smooth and linear and like doesn't draw a lot of attention. this would be a good way to go.
Yeah, this would definitely be a good way to go for sure. And also, just to note,
She's taking them corners.
just checking the handling. Just to note, this vehicle has winter tires on it currently.
Yes.
Obviously, we work at a pre-owned car dealership, so we don't sell anything new. And you never know what kind of tires you're going to get on the vehicle. But just to the fact that this has winter tires on it, it does not feel like it has winter tires on it. It feels like your regular all seasons to me. So the suspension is nice. Suspension's smooth. It's buttery.
Yeah, we just went over some pretty gnarly tracks there, and a little bit of rattles. It wasn't the quietest I've heard, but it also wasn't very jarring or didn't lift you out of your seat or anything like that. The materials in here are very nice. On the dash, that's that's very soft and nice to look at. It's got stitching, real stitching. Along the gauge cluster, though, and that beautiful screen display, that's fake stitching. Like I said, the wood is beautiful. Somebody in their 20s might not think it's beautiful. But
no, yeah.
just getting old.
Right. I mean, this is definitely.
You're not supposed to agree to that.
Well, you know, I am also getting old, but you know, I like to stay young at heart. But this is definitely a vehicle that, unless you have a family, you know, in your 20s, this isn't something I see your average 20-something-year-old getting. Definitely somebody in their mid to late 30s, potentially 40s, obviously 50s as well. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely a family car.
Yeah, this is that I conquered. I came, I saw, I conquered. You know, that's what this is giving. So.
And I commented for me that this would be something, if I could afford a second vehicle, because I have family that doesn't live here. If I wanted to go visit them, this would be a great vehicle just for road trips.
Yeah.
And then to be able to have room for people to get in, or if they came to see me, this is a great car.
Take them around town.
Yep,
yeah.
Exactly. Better than my taco. That is for sure.
It's very quiet. The heated seats are kind of loud, or the cold seats are kind of loud. But they work.
They do. That feels really nice. I actually wasn't expecting that. So I don't think we had those turned on earlier.
It's interesting that the controls for the heated and cold seats are on the door. I guess if you got to put them somewhere. It's nice that they have buttons and it's not just all buried into the screen.
Yeah, but this is kind of awkward. But you know, if you put your fingers up here, 1, 2, 3, you can control that pretty easy.
Yeah.
And then get to the point where it's muscle memory. Once you've been in here enough, you know, you don't have to look to hunt to find the control.
Right.
You'll know which one it is. But yeah, this is, I would say, you know, my first time being in a Cadillac Escalade. I recall my dad saying back when I was first learning how to drive, he asked me if he wanted me to have him get me an Escalade for my first car. And I was like, no, I don't want an Escalade. What 16-year-old wants an Escalade?
Yeah, that's a lot of responsibility for a young person.
Yeah, no way, man. But, you know, being in it now,
I definitely understand the appeal.
Yeah, I can see it.
I don't necessarily believe it's a step up from, let's say, a Denali Ultimate. I feel like it's kind of along those same lines. I don't think if you want a Cadillac without spending Cadillac money, get the Ultimate.
Yep, I would definitely go for the Ultimate. Most definitely, because I also felt that, again, for power-wise, the Ultimate felt more powerful to me than this feels.
Yeah.
I felt more torque coming out of that Ultimate than I feel coming out of this guy.
But yeah, I love the layout. I love it's simple and elegant and sophisticated. It's got heaps of technology. I mean, it's got everything you want.
Yeah, tech package in this is definitely, I would say, pretty good. Very, very good tech package in this vehicle for sure.
Don't mind me, I'm just breaking the law.
Patrol Officer K on duty. But I do like the placement of the heads-up display because it is darn near directly right in front of you as you're driving. So you really only have to kind of glance down just slightly to see it. But it's just like right there. So that's actually very cool.
There's not a lot of things that you can change about it. If you press the HUD button and use those controls, all you're going to get are brightness and position. You're not you can't change the information that's being displayed or anything like that.
Yeah, you just get your miles per hour, which they show that digitally, as well as they give you the speed limit sign as well. And then you'll get your collision indicator for vehicles in front of you. Those are the things that I've noticed on here thus far.
Yeah, and it's just a stark contrast from like the Acura NDX that we just did.
Oh, yeah.
That head-up display was very customizable. We had all sorts of information
right there, yeah.
Which was really nice.
But question is, how much information is too much information to put in front of your eyes while you're driving?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a good point. Like, what do you really need to see when you're
correct?
Driving, that isn't already displayed somewhere else.
Right. Yep.
So
agreed. I do enjoy, just a sidebar, but I do enjoy when the heads-up display, you get your turn-by-turn navigation directions. I do enjoy having that directly in front of me, so that way I don't have to glance over to the GPS, whether it's integrated or on my phone.
Right.
I do like having that right in front. That is very convenient. But yeah, guys, I have to say for a Cadillac Escalade, my first time in one. Kay, I don't know if this was your first time in an Escalade or not.
No, so I've been at the dealership a little longer than you. We did have, actually I think you were already there, but we did have a long wheelbase Escalade there, and we didn't like film that or anything, so I wasn't able to spend a lot of time with it, but I did drive it a little bit, and I mean, it was similar to this.
Yeah. But I give this, I'll definitely give this a thumbs up. I can see, again, why somebody would own this, would have this vehicle. Yeah, man, this is actually pretty cool. And lots of space. Very spacious in here. Very spacious in here.
It does represent America well, I think, as far as the layout, the technology. I mean, Cadillac used to be at the forefront of many, many innovations when it came to automobiles. General Motors in general, I think the Pontiac, I can't remember which model, but it was like the first one to have a head-up display. So, and that was like way back in the late 80s.
Yeah.
So, technology has always been part of their DNA, and it's good to see them kind of getting back to their roots.
Yep. This is super cool. All right, guys, so we're getting ready to pull in here. Thanks again for tuning in for another episode of T&K NoCo Auto Talk. We hope you like this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe below. We look forward to hearing from you. And, Kay, anything else you got to say?
No, just thank you all for the constant support. We really appreciate it. And, yeah, we look forward to doing more of these. So thanks for sticking with us.
Thank you, guys. Catch you on the road.